ye found holy and not Grossman Edumadiano and also Uncosadi I was a Suko Alpha or Mania and the Amuba Sakeno Ama Jamina no Pedisa Ayadiasa Klopp no and almost some Nabetia Cosidana one of Nabetia Trasudiama Ayataswama I found German our Borinano and some Anteta and on the Fina Soya and some Antabat Isusabia what a coach Aya Club and I say what a Germany Omachumano Yamonte Sari Anteno and some Nabasia Koyana Ron our Maya your father said Germany Mamia Kodana your father Michael Olise Masa Bopa na couple bonum Emsa who player about comment to me and San Emma Yabasina. I am Michael Olisa Kurani dia ball dia. And then Canibeka said Chabolo wa masa. I could only bon kasa. Now only say ye kasa medicaria to just say Liverpool for them the Fusa won't put the right to placement and Yamatima. Your father say Liverpool and no I am Mohamed Salah position wa and I am Michael Olisa Kurani to ball and some and ball Nana only said this is Yanu Babiano Swakotano when you're 13 goals and 25 assists and no and so far matches out Wakadana Swabo. Now I Liverpool for some more Pakotana. Your first Michael Olisa Obakian and say Ebetogas I and I line say almost some appoina. Your first Jean Diamante or no and some Liverpool team no one so presenting Nani say Michael Olisa Bamunchi for Katra Liverpool for sa when not transfer market Musia oh Messi was mama just a baby bayo now boy no I'm okay ma I'm saying Liverpool fans what to say woman can't be as one more tone and I'll be on some uncle come say Michael Olise and you happy our club your fans are Bavarians of Bamuntin and what's an obiasun Casabia Quadano Bamuntin any sika woman yes coming to more Tony now I'm can't be as Aquatano one more to Emperor Guswa Yakasai woman never so much say one more yet to my Sarabia Cotano one of some bet me Astente the contract and Yamakaba your fans are Bamuntin our brown something yet the Emma yet for another pay and some our show so now buying for no say woman yale tete say goalkeeper na your fans are Neuer and some be Antabiano Neuer some bet me retire at your free Ayew club also ready no while retire your free national side now Jackano Ayew club na tete say we are goalkeeper Neuer so ebet with your sumnum and you see now buying for no say woman no sakoba say we are goalkeeper and some retire woman konko to be anfanema na Jonas Albig ejumedi ogusua one di adama bamunche no and some eswani pa enti we ebe opportunity adama woman some goalkeeper your fan Jonas Albig akodani ni serebi ono some ebet me commande number 1 sport adama club your fan some bamunche no and some updateba na uko aye Dortmund also Dortmund je obi anum sa woman di anom Selig no wanya wope but wanya omodiane yesebia yakoto player dena babo for wanyini low won twa ne high ni ate enam omakora bako aye Julian Brandt na Julian Brandt ensom aye midfielder oyobi a report am say kan say we must start to so mudin komasa akodan no one some extended a contract at my club your fan say no ensom aye Dortmund amena no pay no wo mo diri esa kwabia so na ya dwumadi bia eno som abetimi so na Sherlock Mama Liverpool akotana ye fa no Rio Ngumoha enwa akora no ba mu we just 25 minutes na ade no ade de onumi ya no onumi yo promise no akotai we mo tena ba mu pa ball we ya josensa and some stretch and elastic limit at the tip of the finger and some battle ball and ya toncha akora no ba ya dwuma brutal hey one now so nya ball attack cross at the nine and some faso bako mienu mi said tia boss na tesa utwam ni ate na mebekira no pay say Steve Gerrard esa baby zero penny I was so ma kwara start ball no na ebi mu so ogiri say dia ba beto dwa say nam obi asan ana akwada no moma start ana akwada no moma start over 17 years and ya dina Liverpool so no aye pressure and wo mu no yeso mu giri ba sa so mo gigi akwada no enso akwada no subunani esanse na mo be kan at the pressure ebeto aye boy no su ofa ebia no wantimi anya adwuma no sade mo so mu sipa no ya ntinka bia mo ya na wo free bench no waba wo free bench no waba nka no enso adabu pa na yesi Liverpool mpon no be say na ade na mo be samo kire no one free bench and emra e wa baba mu bia so ball na wo bono ye na anya bia Lamine Yamal e make the debut and some ama Liverpool no e wo how many years and a bona Lamine Yamal be body ma bobo kra some Barcelona mom mesre o make debut ma Barca no na wanya mfie say chesa 15 16 and 17 and then Lamine e 18 and akoda no so Rio in Kumoha and some about 17 na jawaye bia so chesa ball no mo man start here wobetimi abo wo fi bench enso ba wobetimi abo ntene ade ntire bia dru ba bia mama boy ne start na akodi gakpo nom wo mo so nko bench am ye resari ate no eno so abese ko na jamesen kan say Van Dijk after sano pay ye did accepts abai wonim samra sa captain antituma na to say wase we season we am for kasa ai ana season I say ana season I say and obi ensam fata eye Premier League title and ya dere nyina no yes Van Dijk the toughest and the most competitive Premier League season just one Amazon's OPN now season more than pa nanka Wolves are work relegation ye about say ana Wolves share a Villa now Wolves and Arsenal from 2 goals down no about draw 2-2 Wolves and against Liverpool not just one Ashem Liverpool will be able to put the second goal can one simple woman to draw at the player who you say woman some aside the second goal and some so and no and I'm at money at den at my club you fan say Liverpool now coach no and some your fan say and a slot menu casino slot ayo bia wakasa na manager no say you want to say and why I dey bakum ye no me sabi and no financial and koy na dinner says NCA Shadrack the me story na to be na pay no me ayen images on him say time omo conceding goal and some of the Lucy aya matches no happen emako aya 5 times ebinye Mrs. One pay our sports bite Emma Waters against Man City 90+3 against Wolves and aya 90+4 against aya Crystal Palace 90+7 against aya Chelsea 90+5 ebiyam aya Bournemouth again no aya 90+5 into no aya 5 times and Liverpool one some conceding last minute at the lose game manager say and what no a bad luck and you back because Bono Crano a deflect and a question Liverpool and a bad luck and watch it what both Wolves about because and now Wolves no one more solid defensively ebium one more fighting spirit now worshiper now yinti coach and fansa and a slot ever brand one some the opponent on koma one no album was say a bad luck and my Liverpool and what game no.
If I remember correctly, I think we won the ball back by Curtis Jones. He played it back to Ali, who then cleared it somewhere 30-35 yards away from our goal, I think. And I don't know the name of the player who took the ball, but I think he also dribbled forward and scored the goal. What do we do wrong in that situation? Yeah, maybe if we could do it one more time over, maybe Curtis clears the ball himself. Ali kicks it to the side instead of through the middle. Yeah, you can always do things different. But a deflected shot, who deflected it? I don't know actually.
Joe Gomez.
And Joe, okay. So I have to see then how he puts his body in front of the ball, if he could do anything about that or not, or it was just bad luck. But it's not the first time a ball goes in from a deflected shot. I think it was Sunderland at home as well. If I remember it correctly, I think we won the ball back with.
Manager and swear the pen and no and some our show so like Wolves for no one more Brazonia could be an one and Fifi and some team no you follow Joao Gomez now Ubanya Joao Gomez and some of me ball pa na middle adwuma no chese akona no obo adwuma pa ne ba kono say wo bu sasa enti see na woes ebo mo bo anti ka ba bi omo dai ho na nko mo dai wonim say the moment abon say bi apply so mo see akan ensom armatuma wo mo relegate obi amode ba pagya no wo mpa so abakọ akọbọ awo championship ne mo and say club no kwa relegate anya team bi awo Premier League ne mo ebeto wo bi for Italy ebeto wo bi for Premier that's England money ade wo mo nyina so ebeto dia call Adam Meja European League centers ne mo na Brazil ya koda ne ya juma koda ne bono anu worship I want to say German second na no pen say Napoli for any abre and then what Manchester United what can some be kan na no ya say wo mo say per Midfielder ne mo wo mo per Premier League aye proven already yababo Elliot Anderson yababo aye chese Adam Watenom abo Carlos Baleba nom e de Bruno Guimaraes abeka mabo 4 so say man for no wo mo Joao Gomez ensom abeso so akoda ne obi a wo mo nyane na ye kase omo papa na metesa boy no so nyame yare masama ye season akoda no ensom abeko one club no wo mo nko aye championship ne mo eno aye update akoda no ano som na fina so ade ba Arsenal wo mo bo Brighton and anya bia Arsenal abesa twim ana sesai ana omo game abesa akọ omo de no ensom aye 7:30 ana Brighton awo fie no boboku a ye fa say the Gunners omo game no eno som abeko so no play say wonya time e monitor ye dwumadi a ye fa say Wontumi sports biter me de buy ma me catch am say manager no say Martin Odegaard omo be hwe manager no say Kai Havertz omo be hwe ana fe Declan Rice ono so no wo mo be monitor no pay no Jaminya no say Arsenal wo mo squad wo mo de to kwan e de akọ aye Brighton no report amenya no say Declan Rice e was squad ne mo Kai Havertz and some our traveling aye squad ne mo che so mo nyina no and some in contention and wo mo so betimi abo e de amaside ye fa the Gunners our bro wo mo some other Brighton game no and no and some other koso na Arteta wo mo kobuza zo pani ye say set pieces there e wo ho na mo mo de ane de edu twam o ye na tom ye na tom ana manager fa sa Arteta se wo san komo no mo kan ya na che so du ba bi kra na wo hye na ntino ma bi ase na se wo be hye go ade free aye set pieces se bia what to corner se bia free kick e bia throw you no ani ade mo kan se f1 chese otem da ase abrawo na wa ma okura so chese obi aye bi adentina wo bi anfa bi hye na do be so kan nyina no sara aye juma pa no mu yo we no aye full extensive planning enom chese wo ma yo mo normal training session awie no wo say ba spend the time e dia practice aye set pieces and sanyo ma nyina no entinye se bi odu sif man a guy dabi wo ma ho juma chapa na nya honko a Chelsea wo mo di bi sha wo ya juma Man City no mo sanya time a plan aye set pieces and yate entinye Arsenal enko na de sha ana dabia ai ana Arsenal ana obia di bi sha yintie coach na ye fan Mikel Arteta nay wo defender gentle man for ai wo mo aye set piece aye kenko yintie Arteta.
I mean, you as an opponent or whatever, you get upset when you concede a goal. I was really upset the way we conceded our goal against Chelsea, and Chelsea, look, the quality that they have, the amount of set piece they score. Manchester United, they're doing so well. The same, I was at Man City, used to work a lot on them, so it's something. And there are phases and there are moments when team has an opportunity to do certain things. And the game is evolving and the game is becoming more and more difficult. Before, when you used to do a game plan and you just invert a fullback or bring an extra player in midfield or a false 9, opponent, c'est fini. Big overload, 4v3 inside, 2v1 inside, time on the ball. So dominant, 78% of possession, the other opponent, 2 counter-attacks, set pieces, the game is done. Now, teams are adapting. Teams know after every sequence of play, whether it's a throw in a restart of play, an open pace situation, after direct play, exactly what they have to do. And everything is almost man-to-man. So it's going to be a different game unless we change the rules, because the evolution of the game is that. I don't know. I mean, you as an opponent.
Yes, and then just a game answer, game evolution, and one and just a tetana will be banner, while Koguachero and a counter prana, just say, or the assistant game, but now, Yakasana, Tim's Robia to me, Adaptability, I will bring a true. Never box area, one more try to say, and some other body about box anymore. Now you have a ball area, corner kicker, just 80-yard anymore. Will be on per box anymore. One more pebble be a goalkeeper, and one of them just a 6-yard box at home. I will be up away, Tiawe now. So, Ray, I will be Pampu, will be me, will be to me, will be ball, in our me, will be sure I walk away. I just a one crowd and until say, be a referees, ever so Samrano, and I said, be a baby wrestling bra, and you see, I never know to move with him. She says, I did Obama, Conan, and Banquari, and your better be at your goal, throwing a bar. What about you be at your goal? I know, and your message, a manager, fellas, and Venka, one of some Ajaba. Now, Harry McGrammy, comment some Toronto Pacer, one more I doubtful for mindful gamer, one more come about latest. I want to say, McGrammy Facey, I late fitness test, and what I look sure on also Facey say, Mamma, yes, we're selling them some more to do a mokakra, as an eye, Jack, Across boys, no, Yana be a flu near day, a bumpty, one more Facey, late fitness test. Walk out Newcastle, Lisandro Martinez, I out, Rebecca Wine, Lenny Yoro, not Maguire more, Nanye, Sanya Kamayu for the first time on that character, no, I'm gonna shake and a bit few because a Jumani Abra Penny bought Jumapa 18, your transfer be a late, and your fitness test, I'm about Sunafe, Yawa said, you know, about me, I bought an answer say, and I know some number Siako. Now, Michael Carrick, and was say, you want to just a game of Newcastle, Alcobon, and I know, was so man Castle himself a tough game because Okosem Jensis Parker, Yanko grow, and a BM, your best work, and I was sent a boys, and I'm ready. I'm born your barber, why ready? And my name Queso, yes, so Bako, ABM, you be ansana, what about the fine tower rhythm, and so our match, and right from the blast of the whistle, I was sent Kodanum, I am ready because Baby Mokono, a whole thing, we are some Michael Carrick, and some other tuja.
To play, you know, when they're in full flow and the supporters are there, I think it's a tough place. So we got to be ready for that. It's a different kind of challenge again. You know, it's I know they've had mixed results of late, but they're a good team. Eddie's a fantastic manager, and they're a real dangerous team. So I think that run of certainly what our run's been like previous, I think that's not one that I kind of look at too much, and certainly the fact that whatever form they're in going into the game, I know this game's a tough game, so we'll have to be ready for that. It's a challenging place to play.
Yeah, manager fans say Michael Carrick and I day Ninsam and some Adiamon pay live on the Wontumi Sports Buffet show and what yen shifte yen gear but before see Abekono. Mami adventure when say Benjamin Shesquena. Now say I'm out for Bonaba Super because team my for the brand team come out on the former clubs woman other some of the free Leipzig and so I don't know. When say answer say team no amonu team come out. Woman soma na bia kwa na na kwa fana bra. A private jet arrangement wo ana dia akoda ne beba ne yade ne JC e dia ma wo draw na dia mani pano no ahwe na de na bane yade na se wo mo kono mo printe JC number 9 ana mo de Shesko egu akire na yese brand because also be anim no it was shani ya hu se bia we dia chekere no e bia we eso we end size and the say be ya wo mo be hu ne size awon no so hye no ne de atade ama no mo de kona o mo de koye no no number 9 Shesko and you go actually yes Brian out of respect our Edema Rasmus Hoyland and into no and just JC number 9 because also a striker what be Jana Tadia wa bra won ko ye na ba be say and ya run Tadia dia fan abati and na day because every tuna enya no jakwana sadena yes Shesko mende abeto twase Rasmus Hoyland enti and my 1J number 9 just nantum no yes amani so pamene will be also about Kodana Abaso. Now Juna Emery a coach at my club. Your fan Aston Villa na woman Chelsea and Obama Williams Kowa. Now John McGinn a captain and almost way out. Now Omobi many Janasara woman himself captain or very important. Emma Aston Villa. Namum onya available unishe ya ajobe bien on mebe wɔn twɛ wɔn mu tan ne game a wɔn nso bɔ against ɛyɛ Chelsea no ɛnyɛ adeɛ sɛ akɔda na ɛfa no sɛ John McGinn nso ɛbɛbɔ wɔn mu ɔwura ɛfa no sɛ Ruud Gullit ɔno yɛ obi a former player bɔɔl no wɔn nso abɔ bi anasɛ deɛ na yɛyɛ aturo bɛka no deɛ Gullit nso nie Gullit nkasa no yɛn ti a wɔso ɔno nso hwɛ Chelsea ɛne Arsenal ɛwɔ Emirates Stadium na deɛ nie abɔ no na mɔbɔ te sɛ deɛ yɛbɔ bi NFL bi wɔpim wɔyi na wɔgyene sɛ bom na goalkeeper hwe wɔ bi blow na wɔkyɛ wɔyi wɔ di red card sɛ na bɔɔl na ɛnɛ ayɛ tan saa no wɔn time kura yɛsi ayi ɛna ntwa wɔ hɔ ɛna ntwa na bɔɔl na ɛfɛ Ruud Gullit wɔn bɔɔl no kura no wɔntumi ahwɛ because ɛyɛ terrible na ɛdeɛ na bɔɔl aba bɛyɛ no sɛsɛyi na bɔɔl ɛbɛyɛ na neɛ sɛ na bɔɔl no trend ɛkɔdeɛ a wɔtiri yɛ ba sɛ football egu ano no na tro na kyɛ sɛ wɔn ato no ten corner kick na ya yiri post yi na kyɛ sɛ 6 yard box no mu ɛno wɔn no obi a ɛnso gyina goalkeeper nya home ɔna no homa no nyɛ yie ɔyɛ awotia obi ɛyɛ ne penalty ana ɛba obi bɔɔl no mu miem moma bɔɔl no nyɛ fɛ yɛwɔ sɛ out play wo penalty no sampa bɔɔl na mo bɔ yi na sɛdeɛ bɔɔl no si kɔ no deɛ ɛnyɛ fɛ koraa o ɛnom ɛyɛ small penny na yɛmfa no sɛ Ruud Gullit ɛwɔ abrɛ ne wɔn nso ɛte ɛyɛ show no so a wɔde ne nsɛm no nyinaa nso ade ato dwa na report am nsa ka no sɛ yɛsɛ Chelsea foɔ no sɛ wɔn 10 matches a ka no nyinaa no wɔde wɔn win 7 na wɔn nya 7 wins out of the 10 remaining matches na wɔn tiri yɛ ba sɛ Champions League qualification wɔn nso aba qualify ɛna yɛ kasa yi wɔba ɛyɛ Premier League no mu deɛ a wɔn target ayɛ top 4 anaasɛ bi a possibly top 5 na wɔn de aba bɛwura ɛyɛ Champions League no mu ɛsɛ sɛ kwan bi a so no ɛwɔ so wɔn qualify na manager fan sɛ Liam Rosinio wɔn no ɛna wɔde ato dwa sɛ yɛbɛka sɛ bi a season no ɛyɛ successful ɛnso ɛde ama team na Champions League qualification ɛwɔ sɛ kwan bi a so ɛba ɛna ɛwɔ sɛ si ɛyɛ must ɛno ɛna bɛtwerɛ sɛ wɔn nso season anya bad koraa na report amenya no sɛ manager no wɔn so wɔn good chance sɛ wɔn nso ɛbɛtumi achieve ɛyɛ ne yɛka no sɛ Champions League football nyame yɛ adom a ɛno nso ɛyɛ next season ɛne yɛate na Chelsea for no say Champions League babi wɔn akɔ akɔtiri wɔn nya ne Paris Saint-Germain ɛmɔ ɛkɔ no wɔn nya around 80 million pounds ɛno ɛyɛ sika Chelsea for no wɔn nso ɛnya ɛde ato eti nyame yɛ adom na sama ne sɛ bi amon show manim and your team no one be sound top because one be jabi mu kwan afa one so atobi ade aba be shebe no aye kakra from us right ba won sam ni na no ye de ema ye te for anano pay and some our show no so Man City for no one say against Nottingham Forest and I was some to start to ye now German son can na say manager for so Pep and your man could answer any cross almost slack because you can Arsenal one trim aye 5 points and a Man City our game back about and it's almost clear so game now winning quadia one back at 2 points gap and the other 2 Arsenal and show sign be as one also ever drop it and the manager no and person the boys ever drop it quantum and ano woman Ellen Haaland and come because baby Juno and your bonumu and your Juno baby your players in Antina good news and say Mateo Kovacic and some about almost 20 training across Enra and some our city almost campus on you was some Mateo Kovacic and so be one of some Benjamin Tenten and train and no I kakra free and some at the Abraham something now yet for Usman Dembele Demian Sabino Waba na nyame ya no tenati aye Friday na Paris Saint-Germain wo mo ebebo mo na ko Friday report amenya no say aye Friday game akodan no enso ebetumi abobi eno aye update fi amaso adeba won sem nyina no yet yete wo shero mi ma picture bi sese e mami Atletico Madrid time omo ebefu omo bus enso akọ aye Chasebia airport no ma connect e de akọ aye Madrid no wo picture na wo bon so pani bi kita aduane a cheso no e de for Barcelona na onse omo former player okay aye Luis Suarez Suarez about Barcelona e Atletico adom G League no na Serie boys no masia invest in anwashio na Suarez oni restaurant our Barcelona ho report amenya no so mo koto aye Charlito eno aye sam adwane omo tode ma boys no after some omo qualify na jona wo mo wie omo ko for Barca call airport akọ connect and some area yako aya Madrid no we aya from Suarez a restaurant intianim say be an former team omo kwagini free e gaps yenini sa because ororo wa wasa ba be share team ba kwa na dana koma so ntiam za wo mo pressing order ana delivery abamene wo mo som ade man kwadan abo pass no mo na manager for sans flick manager no say be a Barcelona wo mo som ade my attention ebe kono aya UEFA Champions League no in fact anwa wo mo call on supporters ampa supporters no som age omo so eno ase no security atmosphere euphoria edema Barca team no just euphoria no na anwa shepa eno janso babia be fobia babia ensom ayo kuma fei wo mo ultras awon ye kan say aye stance no mu ani ade wo mo bronchi mu ahijama ama chese dede eno approach no so babia be fobia no na no wo kai sa no pay ye de by time omo team bus ensom aba na chese reception anwa den Barca for them aye juma no na chese afa kwa na manager no ya chepa wo say bon omo bon enwa no when you chi enyadoa when you be a sinchano ankwada no will be than 100% a game and a buy woman now budget France no buy no was in the so there be a say and can supporters mo here and some animal Barca nyano san ke be a Barca for and some actual form bi and I see you so na come game city dia and ya Champions League aye be no woman some betimi akwa mu panamom ye kan nyina no woman fan one after one woman fan game by game Yenches my coach, your father Hans Flick, one and some other tuka after the game ever post match. Manager no and so Ekasai.
It's a long way for La Liga and also a long way in the Champions League, and we have a huge opponent. We have Newcastle, a strong team, so it's about that. So that for me, it's now focus on the next. It's Athletic Bilbao, also a good team. And we have to recover now. We have every 3-4 days we have a match, and you know, and this is at the moment our job for the next weeks, months, when we want to reach also or want to play many games in Champions League. We have to do it like this. So it's about recovery. It's about focus on our job. And this is what I want to see from the team, because the quality we saw today, it's there, it's unbelievable, and I'm really proud about my team. So it's fantastic.
Just said the Uncle si bo omo bo enu amadembo no na just aye dutwam BBC na just opani enso atwen said tabiano be hunsan kwada no wo mo som ade ma aye Barcelona enu Sporting aye director aye ref fan sa Deco so kasa kakra Deco so no mo ya we say oye come back from 4-0 down sankomo she go back kokra wa we a nanka some be qualify no enye beyond omo rich na de ma kwa ha dwane say wo be kai say first like Kubasi Shegobi, and my referee say outside now. Every gas so crash and my referee say I outside our way now. I say Kubasi go and until the man no deco. Wakasa sa besina say one tiasie one of the entire referee beka say and a Kubasi bono I outside and some anyadiano and a hard 2 year per nam so much as enra. Woman's anti qualify. Now the obaso killing now some and say omo crosswa bobo say na fighting spirit say an kwadano woman some abadana didia and your normal kesia betimi asi e Barca for kwemo na Atletico Madrid omo captain no eye Koke winum se Koke record to say time Barcelona e share third goal wo be kaya na time e wo mu pa no so Barca for share third goal no wo mu te bench no mo bompa se referee pon wo manya kra na chesanka time so ama ye ponti captain no wo na jatum sa no aye sinso boa wo sinso abome pa manya kra na chesanka referee enso upon one data na Shadrack Mame Antoine Griezmann picture na wajina mu na Barcelona one place me no eda fam no Griezmann ko post the same picture e wo IG picture ni e and wo busa sa anyabia no picture we hit hard anu hye wabo Barcelona pay ba sankwada me onu da foma no onu gyina ntenten ana wa chese picture na wa hyemeboa a chese onu akwa posti ensom on IG awa brano pen no yare update no nyina no ensom aba se so mo say wo mo ba so mo je aye trophy esu mo na so enso say the last time a cover say wo mo call final aye 13 years ago ama no ma call kamantinei wo mo ji bi ache awasa kwan bi aso no wo mo som aje me no kasai wo true aye vade baba sa Real Madrid wo team no wo mo start aye training no sense na aye 10 and a point to make us say aka 2 more minutes ama 11 abonte wo mo training session no and some na so alcohol na player you find Jude Bellingham said here in Mbappe conference no Jude also Jenny treatment our London and Jude also Haman ho and some atono na Madrid for so makoda na fan say Raul Asensio unum say akoda say wano obabo game our Belidos weekend one game mo kwakobo anu odin pa na because ye ka say no Real Madrid no plus no pra no mu propra ana form no so shira no wanti sa koba se bia wo mo be an ana bia me mo na me pra na me honya ne adia Friday wo mo bo game our South Africa Belidos so ne esi akoda no say wono kwan bia so obabo yeso wo pra eni kwa so obo ne maso no what pain na so boy na be so force and some other boss game animal club ya fan say Real Madrid na yes we feel dizzy as a juba du krana ya na su chini kakra na so ni abasa chinchina twan what the boss game e wa to aye South Africa and I update ba na akona na ya fan say Rodrigo and some adia no we say report amenya na no pen say sir Rodrigo onya te enye no na emse onya partial tear na chese ligament no atikakra ana odi akoso dia ye training e dia recover ana odi abobo e ma me de betu dwa no pensa e be kwa ne kotu dwa ne kan ho no wo send the ball 30 minutes more e ma Madrid against your Tafe and Sana wo free me no e ma sa cruciate ligament damage no and also e ba ya ne wuri enso adam say World Cup ya de update about Mbappe so mo bompa say anya be return leg get ma aye Champions League against Man City no one some abeba na mo yesi Mbappe nkofo no say sir ontimi mo first leg na return leg Ghana Mbappe abeba dia and Madrid and wo madwuma ye say be enkoba say be a first leg no wo mo be lose baby about 3-0 wo mo kogigi goals na be ade no ebe ye dia mo fomani amatu Mbappe so say wo be pre abekom ababe comeback odabi and be a first leg no wo pa hye and say be a wo benya defeat krana 1-0 B be a 2-1 B now kwaje 3-0 ba first leg and for no meto mo de hye no so no and ababe comeback so dem be say World Cup no 99 more days to go no wo me risk I update free wo ma so de ba info free Italy Alban say AC Milan coach Max Allegri yes na Real Madrid for no so monitor na wo mu probia na ne afi a obeti na ye adwuma na comment na ye ka say no AC Milan coach ye for some Max Allegri e yo bia na Madrid and some monitor but ye nyantim free Madrid no so side wa brand ye be ko so monitor na e wa Italy wana bia no we say Ricardo Kaka a former player and some Milan and Inter for AC Milan mo a 10 points nyame ya ma weekend wo mo ba derby della Madonnina and wo mo say Kaka say anya bia na Milan e betimi agye na and we say 10 points now omoya behind Inter Milan no we say a tough but odiri pass bibia betimi asi AC Milan a difficult here but on we fusa kwan bia so no Milan so betimi catch up and no update about Rafael and some player mo din come say we ba extend a contract na until 2030 na Rafael dia no we maka amadra chire metesa boy na ebe sign ni sika ebe peja we be call 5.5 million euros a season and no amount of player your fan say Rafael and some abache now no me say catch on say Arsenal we mo call Inter Milan as well say we mo promo striker na fan Pio Esposito Inter be cast we mo nton na boy ni and Beppe Marotta we say we mo catch Arsenal for say Inter Milan woman ya selling club ye mo don komi ewo ho an wa kwa kopa bi ato na oye player akoda no am say omani wan ho pa na sa obi a for player na waton wo for player no waton no wo ba inter eno enyo mo primary activity woman ya tone ton for na boy no abekoso abode ba inter or dachi our club no mo woman ya akoda na bekoso ya dwuma sanse nei woman dachi enso ani akoda na fa no sa aye pure Esposito na timba kwa sese wo ha dwe pa Fabregas etim na ye fa no say komo mam sporting director no na sporting director no ye fa no Calalberto Ludi na Calalberto enye wono no mo busan so pani wo oba club no mu 2019 enti oba ye nam say o yakoba 7 years enye na o ma ya juma pa ana Calalberto say waba ye de komo kra ma wanka wonye waka so so mo ko talent Serie A kra no ne mpado won say na wo sabi wo bodam ana komo betimi akwa Serie A na so na radio komo ye na odun komo kakra yinto sporting director Calalberto Jumi na mama wasa wo mo ya jumaden ansa na mo die so no nyina no eno so abam I will Napoli good news and say Frank Zambo and Giza nyamle on Friday Bobokua ye fa no say Napoli and Torino omo game no report amenya no say Zambo and Giza you be ono and so be available afre no recover and so dey free injury aba afei Scott McTominay so dey no metisa dey be che ama Friday na dra wo mo so be assess aya McTominay no ma he sanya bi obetimi abo anaso wontimi mo ana Kevin De Bruyne by enche na no started training wo mo so ma sleti senya me yaduma Napoli ebebo Lecce eno aye 14th of this month na game against Lecce eno aye game akwambia so mo wesa aye Kevin De Bruyne so no wonu so ebetimi abo ana Napoli abonche ban sa Stanislav Lobotka wo mu din komasa boy no so aye obi onom when you problem on a muscle na muscle problem no domo so mo kan nyina no sa ne kan show mo monitor no pa na availability at my Friday game no and so I am very just doubtful and ya dey say bia robot ka betimi abo aye Friday a game assistance now branch ba come no kasa sene be a we be extending a contract am Napoli no aye Leonardo Spinazzola so say woman Spinazzola ka we mo fan until 2027 boy so until 2028 woman that should din come on say na modern bonti manager for say Gattuso ebe so from Emma Italy woman World Cup a play-off game no ono some Bobintina Spinazzola e bi am no kase no woman so mo extend our Napoli our brand new kakra and so about Dusan Vlahovic our trophy woman fan contract 6 million euros a season Manuel Locatelli say me bekan enra woman for no so 4 million euros a season omo no until 2030 and you be on bejatum and as one yintum no ya be monitor we sari ade no ensom ebesia ko yen first na afia ma bedwafo no na yen to aso this Wontumi sports buffet still yen to aso
ya na also
obadi adom be
makakra Salamu president is
say adem say we wam so no be Kenya na so 9 pa de
because we dey work that so happen
come back no
yeah na say everything clearly showed say competing my
eno abo no mo boy dey sa no mo ball anka
top notch
enye san ke bia team na brei enkwara no omo nim papa o
na so so
Matia no mo jai ye boni bon mo nim bo Mike na ohun ede
o nyanko pardon ye won kwa mu nko ade
ede rade ase
sekere no o sekere no
so Castro nyumbe wa Sofia Soneke
apu neke
o sekere no only president wo ya wo bi o
srade nam
AJ
Member music come out.
Oh, okay. So when you run on water.
And I will picture now we post here come here no.
I only
was set the agenda for 6th March, you know.
Oh, Samu.
Yeah, 6th March in a holiday.
Aye.
And Munye Juma. Aha, community where you obey.
Oh, okay.
Intend no more camo video or deny a mess and Yamasharax is here. Moonsem no be a better.
Oh, okay.
Opa, yeah.
So, I
No way,
why me?
No way,
Shadrach.
What do we do?
I'm checking the I'm for planning for on we agenda for 6
March.
No, the handshake was thank you for successful negotiations.
Okay.
No, I the only ball tournament qualifies crime war. Assemble make candidate.
Assemble okay.
By now, young country will be all torn Ghana Jason now, but then say with 3 more days.
We know your dream.
Or be a Ghana Jason. No, ye na eji tum say. Ade by your mamma mo dear. Ene China for other Roma, and a mature gum. Oko fana wo tonwa so so mu anim brain faso. I don't know why before 7 years.
And the chinchina tries also to Jesse.
No, Debbie. You see, there is this thing in economics where demand will likely exceed supply. There will be price hikes. But you should be mindful enough to also know, say, I am faso do bebre no e ma nipa otrimu ye ten. Obi betimi afa atade no be 70 cedis. No aton 500 cedis. Aden. Aden. Ana mo mi aya ho sa.
Now
Afa o man se foreigner bi. No akọfa bi. Na wa aton for na afa o mo ni sa. Eye ho no. Ana na mo yesa. Enya Jesse ni nko o.
Ntuma o mo mokola.
Oh, na say the best thing is, you see, oh yeah, dear man, you want to be colorful, you want to appear in a certain manner.
Has a junior class me Ghana Jesse one or has a das Saturday over Fabra.
I think that they want to make it memorable. Almost set match. One person on the Ghana Jesse. The social media trend and yet the government and Tobia wants to flaunt Ghana colors, you know. And our mouth was sign a much of a form and not on Quemini Bebu Faso. I don't know where now we are course. So be from Gajoso for Ghana Jesse in a Valley.
Into your pressure, and I'm for Ghana Jesse Mecano. Miss Amun and we okay. Oh,
2 minutes we have to go for a corner.
Yamra swear, now the Ghana Jesse young Quenim.
But
so I had the already on the mobby.
Yeah, my phobia. Now I think and now we enjoyed some good games. Maybe one man here hope he said comebacks in the Bay Juma. A bonus one hope he said wins in the Betty Maya Juma. Now you better and no near Babeshe Yamea Duma and the title race is still ongoing. Between Manchester City and Arsenal. Now up to 4 year graph will be the above one thing said the next 10 games. Or more ranky team beyond the fixtures, the energy ding. The energy ding pa. Your baby share no near discuss it. Now to fear now so do I drink Chiraba. They will know how teams will qualify for the top 4 and how other teams will win the league. And look remember first one Musubeti ma struggle kakra. Now the first one I will be speaking about be the Liverpool game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Obi Ebusa say now the Wolves for come about first half of the season this year come back relegation and na a tactical problem and a lack of quality. Yaw, Tama Wolverhampton Wanderers a bad league in him, any performances so more better than Eddie. For instance, this is one particular project I felt to say, homophobic to say, Oye Mendes, say on front certain things, things would have been much more better. Not more the one about yet. A passing route for Portuguese players into other European top leagues. Attract a huge amount of money in terms of their value and move on to the next. So we've watched top quality players come to Wolverhampton Wanderers and play. Maybe you boy a trim cramposi a Kaibia or bien one rebe Fija Neves in this particular setup of the Wolverhampton Wanderers team. Yeah, and Biana Matheus Cunha Bebo Bishe 15 goals in the more different koi. Let's not forget about it to say really bolly. I will see a kind of man on Nam Forest and I will free on Crowd Koi for the Ivorian national team still playing for them. So this is a team in terms of players on Matoni's come Rukupino and young bono. the Padodona would GD say, or must sign players be an any quantum more sign. Let's not forget that even Vitinha, ever found Wolves team will say movie, and son I walk. Akone namako pimo Paris Saint-Germain nama performance in Mabe Pija. But it's really surprising said the first round of the league nan your man air kwacho yaw. But on what games be in the last 5 games are I think this performance is in here about so body the commitment of these players the signings they did Strat Larsen Obi Otu Omufubia son koto Strat Larsen biano he fits into their model and what they want to do because Strat Larsen Mateta was supposed to join AC Milan. Ama Italy for no and someone as em komo da hono nyina na say ansa na besi akama ni Italian team no omo medicals ni go beyond a club no AC Milan no as a whole. It goes beyond that. I was an external doctor scratch him. It is say you who be wom na say M1 in the long term club no bon hu muso no koya e betima final na so betima nya ban. So they don't joke with those things at all. And a mama Mateta entimi anko AC Milan. But one Strat Larsen from Crystal Palace to Newcastle United. Top class to Wolverhampton Wanderers top class signing. Oba had the consistency or the momo. But there's one player what be in the swat. Ya ara season no corner we na me so be ben one be signer. Enya me one wine and João Gomez. Also more some small guy be or Mateus or some that guy be or no midfielder young boy. But the João Gomez guy no.
So say Man U and in Napoli nepe.
Ya proper press resistant midfielder. Of Fabon in the first phase, come fast or build it by the passing range. The Betimia cementing the crash surely cries say Unya Kusi Akama Ancelotti's Brazil at the World Cup. And performances now all done in angle now all on the if Wolverhampton Wanderers should go down price in the Beba form. Teams of Moko relegation in no players in the Beba form. So if John Aves was around £50 million, trust me about 25. And this is a big market opportunity where clubs will flood on him. But me Wolverhampton Wanderers say bomb Barcelona, Liverpool, almost concede a lot of late goals to do.
Yes.
You started the season, almost first 4 matches, almost boy, almost goals almost say beyond the 83rd minute. 83rd minute walk on Liverpool first 4 games of Bowl League now goes in the bar. So it is more like the who or Trisicano who or Secano. They said the Liverpool shots here now or the late goals say man for no. And they na man for the late goals. And I tell Liverpool. These are the games that this is Liverpool are considering stoppage time. Against Crystal Palace, 2-1. Estivao. Okay, there's an Estivao in Crystal Palace and I'm 90 plus 5 and a Liverpool conceding. Chelsea Liverpool. I might exchange Edino. So Baku Estivao. So in Ketiana Estivao. So in Ketia Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. Then Estivao Chelsea versus Liverpool. Then Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Adley. Then Liverpool versus Man City and Haaland. Then Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Liverpool. Andre. Then the mobile draw. Fulham any Liverpool. Reed. Leeds United any Liverpool. Tanaka. Last hour. So if you are counting the number of games Liverpool are conceding in stoppage time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you imagine the number of points Liverpool have lost from these things. Crystal Palace they only at 3 points. Chelsea they only at 3 points, making 6. Bournemouth they only at 3 points, making 9. Man City they only at 3 points, making 12. Wolves they only count 15 points. All the draw they count 4-4. Liverpool have lost 19 solid points.
90 plus.
Oh, 90 plus. Stoppage time. And Rebecca said they are a bit unlucky. But how consistent this has become, meaning they lose focus. Lose focus. Last season, Liverpool had a key lead in a lot of matches by 2-goal margin. Last season, there are 14 games. Liverpool games are taking lead by 2 goals. 14 games. This season, there are 4. So meaning Liverpool are conceding late goals. They are scoring late goals too. But in a nutshell, I did bet me save your money and say, "Come on, goals in time of my relax that Keja come off and wins in the call." It's how 4 times in the back here. West Ham game and starting game. Now much Liverpool, almost West Ham by 3-0. Omunya about to relax and that is a big problem. There has been a drop off. Check the graph of Liverpool team. Now that you told last season. In terms of more XG in the first few games of Mabo, in terms of the number of goals or share in the first half, this is almost to 8th in the league. Or ma drop it. It will graph that is Liverpool her first half goals. Started free 2017-2018 about second. Omaba from third. Look at the drop off from last season. From second and at third, no. Oma drop here, they are say eighth. There have been a massive fall for this Liverpool team in terms of the way Wontumi get a grip of games. And now it is worrying. It is worrying. Especially getting to the latter stages of the season. Open Champions League ni bi aye abo. A hard dream pa. And the numbers are not encouraging at all. O check teams who do Premier League ni the minute average minute on show mo first goals Liverpool dey na wo chiri. Shadrack Benya sa table na maya. The number of goals Arsenal share, the number of goals Man City share, the number of goals Man United share. Obia ne dey any the average time. These goals are the only thing you need against Liverpool is to hold your breath. Yeah, this is the table. Now you look at Arsenal, we 58 goals. Average goal time, I say 54 minutes. Man City, I say 57 goals. Average goal time, I say 45.
Yes.
Man United also third. Average goal time, I say 53. Chelsea, average goal time, I say 48. No one behind Liverpool. Average goal time, you say.
This will about 60 minutes answer.
Now check the teams. For only 4 teams now can you name.
Liverpool nkwana omodi na wosro. This will about 60 minutes answer when you go.
Answer when you go on the average. So teams are money below the table. They always grow in confidence. Because only Liverpool won't me continue self. Maybe assist at the Liverpool show one. Who need us once getting to the stoppage time? Nobody saying you go there tell Liverpool. And now this is not a good sign for Liverpool. So more pray the top 4 Libya about the Champions League. It's not a good sign. And I'm slot Eja Gunichimba. And when you lack asem, it is the drop off in terms of team form and your more quality of my identity.
I don't know your wine forms.
And I'm slot in form so. Because he's supposed to find a solution to this problem. As the head coach of a Liverpool club, players need more problems, but the balance of the squad, any the way I best two team up, any how ready they are in the latter, because it is strange. A team at Waji League, and looking like a team that is inexperienced. How do you concede or lose 19 points in stoppage time? And you won the ball league in the BG last season. Virgil van Dijk, Kunate, Alisson Becker. Should not mistake be Alisson Koye. Bono on to me claim go through. Had the angle never be a pija born in the Kotoi. Walk at his Jones, no count on with the G League. No,
Van Dijk now so my show.
And because these are players who expect to say they should be doing better than what they are doing. I want to be finding experience and justify what they are doing. And you when you lack. And you lack. And I think the whole setup of Liverpool also exposes the defenders a lot. A biomumu to exposure. A biomumu pa. Coach Bia one weakness. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool's weakness near say na exposing Liverpool fullbacks in the power. So any team that wants to win against Liverpool, in Tokron na Trenton or ne Robert Simbeja or Honor Mutaifa. If you feel na adding, because Henderson, Fabinho, mechanical midfielders, aggressive. Quality. James Simeone akrabe shemfi fi okra no magidum. Unya central progression a lot. But only Liverpool and Slot this season, McAllister, Zoboslai, Gravenberch, difficult. Obiaya and Munomo deko. And it is a big tax for them. And then the Dimbe move on our table now make the next 10 games are up tired. So Shadrack Bebram with that graph, and then we use it to assess the chances of Liverpool and the Chelsea bebo Aston Villa meboa. Then near they no so be assess Arsenal Brighton, near they no so assess Manchester City against Nottingham Forest na me adom enumere. Then Manchester United be away to Newcastle United. On that particular table na make no. O checking it there. Obi ane the ready be agina homa difficulty. We a league table because it's 61 points, 56 for Manchester City. Manchester United will 51. Then this is the graph. It's annual beam kakrani na as a snowby ofi near this ankomo. Now, look at the table clearly. Green is homa easier, white near challenging, and a red near difficult. In the last 10 games of these teams, now for example, you fell Liverpool. Almost for Liverpool, the NSA, West Ham home, the na F1 ameboa. Liverpool share na one share. So say, ana mo fa Liverpool dey say Wolverhampton Wanderers away dey so afu ana meboa ana Liverpool akoye dey akolusi ana mo say Tottenham Hotspur, Brighton and Hove Albion, Fulham, Everton here challenging games the man Liverpool. Crystal Palace should be easier, but Man United, Chelsea, Aston Villa and Brentford our last games no yaw a difficult task. The man Liverpool assembly who are making some qualification for the Champions League needs to be looked at and say in the last few games now up to let's stay you know Emumi and Sane easy. Crystal Palace, Wolverhampton Wanderers and a West Ham. And then what's a West Ham? When you shoot to Wolverhampton Wanderers. So even your easier games, you are not getting the maximum points to stay in touch in terms of teams on your more play.
And you're better than tough games and
when you resource.
Wontumi.
Liverpool big problem back on. And this is where the challenge comes in terms of fighting for the Champions League spot. Yaw okuni wedding. Ono wa mo na pre-Champions League slot no. Only Man United ne Chelsea ni Aston Villa na meboa. Now you look at it clearly. Aston Villa and Wolverhampton Wanderers away. Chelsea, Man United, West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Sunderland, Fulham, Tottenham Hotspur, Burnley, Liverpool, Manchester City. Yaw Aston Villa easy games. Wolves away. West Ham, Nottingham Forest, and Sunderland. Also lose Wolverhampton Wanderers there no. I can't only easier games to say 3 and I'm a boy. Obetime points in the shame. Liverpool can't easier games to say 1. Or what Crystal Palace. So to me no say Aston Villa shany easy games in now when you say 9 points and I'm a boy. Liverpool will show easy game not they can in our bra. Who could say 3 points? That is the challenge for Liverpool. Chelsea in that first. Show more difficult games in the yaw. The easiest game Chelsea are going to play over the course of the weeks and Nottingham Forest in the Sunderland. And I'm a boy. If Chelsea should also pick those easy points, and I'm going to say 6. Now Liverpool will say 3. That is where Liverpool should be looking at. Manchester United there and that one easier games 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, what the cash back aka 3. Or just at 3 can one or 12 points. Now this evening, Manchester City besi akade tia Nottingham Forest. Now for Man City, more easy games to say. Obo Leeds, Obo Nottingham, Obo West Ham, Obo Crystal Palace, Obo Burnley. 15 points at stake. Yaw, wakoshe Leeds United. That means we 3 free. Akoka 12. Arsenal big games on Mobile against wine. Chelsea, Brighton and Hove Albion na challenge. But the easier games for Arsenal, according to Opta, West Ham, Burnley and Crystal Palace. So City has 15 points to take from its easier games. Arsenal won 9 points to take from its easier games. Meaning Arsenal should work hard and win against teams which is Brighton and Hove Albion, teams which is Everton, teams which is Bournemouth. Arsenal should be getting the wins or even picking points there. City the end there or easier games to play in terms of getting those 15 points. And then you know, City will be looking for a Nottingham Forest at home. For Arsenal, it is believed that Brighton and Hove Albion game should be challenging. But yaw, a money pija, and me say Arsenal should be overcoming. Then the last statement I'll make is Lamine Yamal, or the best youngster on the planet. Obia ni mwachi ni ebium. Akodane bona obono. Mo fa hin generation no. Na asem fa na asem.
Wo, Mate, me da say Mike Bray.
Fancy, me da say. Oh yeah, story be about Mano na ya. Na o say why then?
Say be opposite retire. Na komo ma Jonas Elbig momo na take charge. Yeah.
Similar to Oliver Kahn, Bayern. Bayern hadn't found someone to step in or take over in the events Oliver Kahn Ijawako, but eventually there was a Kahn say bye-bye to Bayern. So at the end of the 2007-2008 season, Kahn retired from the game and Bayern had to find replacement. Now almost 3 goalkeepers on their book. At that time, Hans-Jörg Butt joining on a free transfer from Benfica. Then they had Michael Rensing. Rensing was seen as the next big thing in terms of German goalkeeping. And he said, then let's promote Rensing. Yen promoting, yen supporting, Obepeja. Then again, there was Thomas Kraft. Bayern went through a phase of instability in their goalkeeping department and then at the club. Omwenya Oliver Kahn replacement until Yebe ran into the summer of 2011-2012 season. No. no mokoto Neuer from Schalke 04 then buy. Neuer had then built himself as a young boy. Obera Schalke team no. He built his reputation and similarly followed the pathway of Jens Lehmann, the Oba Arsenal. No. Lehmann was a typical Gelsenkirchen boy. Went through the Schalke 04 process and then achieved a level of success and was transferred by England Arsenal. It became a model for young goalkeepers almost. So Neuer was one of them. Until Lehmann was his role model. Until Schalke made that remarkable run into the Champions League this season. It was 2009-2010.
Yeah, 2010.
The next season, that was when Schalke made that remarkable run in the Champions League. Man U moved from semi-final. But that Schalke team went all the way. And they went all the way with Neuer as the club captain. On another goal post in him. They had a team rich with talent and experience. Raul Gonzalez, Jean-Claude Santala leading the attack. Jefferson Fafan, Okaisa Peru, attacker. Yeah. Good. And then Jose Manuel Jurado. Obo was Spain. Then he came to Schalke. Then there were other young players. In the middle, they had Ivan Rakitic. The Obebo Barcelona. No. Good. Then Christoph Metzelder. Metzelder played for Madrid at a point in time. No, Benedict Howedes, who was also instrumental, German AJ World Cup. No. Then a young Joao Matip, Hansedu Sapai, Ghana. Last season now no moto Antoniana from Rosenborg, Obebodema Schalke 04. Fancy they went all the way in a group that had the likes of Lyon, Neuer, Benfica, Valencia. They will qualify and top that group. Then they met other teams. Omo Inter Milan free, omo she Inter home and away. No omo free Champions League. Neuer was a key performer in there. And then the convincing Bayern say the issues we had gone through, we're struggling to find a replacement for Oliver Kahn. The best person to replace Kahn was Neuer. At that time, now let's Ferguson so pen on the day because there was a conundrum about moving on from Van der Sar. United had been in such a phase before. After Schmeichel, they struggled to find a competent goalkeeper for a sustained period until Van der Sar by. After Schmeichel, they tried Bates. They tried former USA goalkeeper Tim Howard. They tried Ed van der Gaal. Omo try with Roy Carroll. United tried a lot of goalkeepers. Van der Sar in a season with Fulham impressed. Now United kofane by a fire. So they also wanted the next to replace Edwin van der Sar, and Neuer was their top target. So Manuel Neuer had to choose between two, Man U and Nase Bayern Munich. If he had chosen Man U, it would have followed the path of Jens Lehmann. Jens Lehmann by England with Arsenal. Until Corbett follow the role model. But he chose to stay in Germany, and then he chose to move a step up from Schalke 04 to Bayern. For 3 seasons, both with Schalke and Bayern, Manuel Neuer bought Champions League semi-finals 3 times. Olusu final back, winning final back. The first season with Bayern, no money Chelsea call final. No. The second season, they won the Champions League against Dortmund, and then they won the treble. That began the process of Bayern wrestling dominance on the domestic front and also at the European stage from among top rivals. Domestically, now they are ceded supremacy to the likes of Wolfsburg, with the Edinado Graffiti, Edinjeko, no Magic League Nibi, Stuttgart, Kevin Kuranyimo, they had won the league before. Then it came to Dortmund with Jurgen Klopp, BJJ League, you know. So Bayern needed to assert themselves their domination. Then also do that in Europe, because after my last Champions League triumph in 2001, no Wontumi by the until they made the final in 2011-2012 at Chelsea Showmo, and it began with Neuer. 27th March, he will be 40 years. And the Wayama Bayern and the Wayama Nehono. They also beat Naha Kacho say he is the greatest player that Bayern has signed and the best footballer Germany has produced in the 21st century abedi echinie. Menya sure said Germany a produce footballer. What me are rising above the impact Manon has had in the game. In almost every facet of it. Achievement. He's there. How many trophies or titles hasn't he won? He's won over 30. Individual prizes. World Cup 2014 Omoji, he won the Golden Glove. Oji, European best goalkeeper, record 5 times. IWFHS, best goalkeeper, Oji, 5 times. Which is a record he shares with Gianluigi Buffon and then Ike Casillas. He holds all the goalkeeping records Edimu Bundesliga nim. In the Champions League, if you are looking for goalkeepers with the most clean sheet, his name is in there. Then the most important aspect of what Neuer has done, and yet there was a tangible idea, but how he revolutionized the game and the art of goalkeeping. And the keeper be a person or pass it. Keeper Bia wants to play a role in the passing and the playing process. And TSC goalkeepers the most important part of possessive oriented sides.
Sweeper.
But no, I'm gonna start in this era, 21st century. So goalkeeper be so osia ball ne bossing Neuer boni di chireme. Or se game no. So the primary job we were expecting from a goalkeeper he gave it to you. The saves. Then he added something that was quite new, a bit alien to goalkeepers at that time. From 2001, Deba. Not goalkeeper and far born to from pass it. And find a home count say, oh yeah, the 11th outfield player. Born 11 players, neighbor. Yes, 10 outfield players. But with Neuer, they became 11 outfield players. He did it for club and country. And his understanding of the game and the precision of his passes, it was unmatched.
Wontumi.
So Obikacho was Neuer, the greatest German footballer of the 21st century. And how great he is well demonstrated 2014. Yeah, Ballon d'Or. Yes, Messi ni Ronaldo ni Juan net also means Manon Neuer. That tells you the level he went. I know a lot of people who put up arguments. What about Toni Kroos? Yes, Kroos was impactful. Kroos also won a lot in terms of achievement. But what the level of influence and impact Neuer brought Toni Kroos so? Or Brune so? So he will leave. But how would they replace him? And then no. Oliver Kahn chasa to her. Bayern went through a period before they found their new Oliver Kahn. And Bayern ne brought the Oliver Kahn here and so. Oliver Kahn took Germany to the World Cup final 2002. They lost to Brazil. Neuer took Germany to the World Cup final and they won it. In terms of club achievement, Kahn, yes, he won 2 Champions League titles with Bayern. Neuer did the same thing. But Neuer there, it was treble. Omo treble twice. In recent times, I think Barcelona and Ebema as the only teams to win the treble.
Yeah.
Under Jupp Heynckes in 2012-2013 and then Hansi Flick 2019-2020. Manon Neuer is the greatest German player of the 21st century. And if he leaves, a huge gap will need to be filled. One at club level, national team level, ASM. But to other developments, and
Wontumi.
Jürgen Klopp, Real Madrid. Klopp, Real Madrid. Situation here is similar to when Klopp was coming to Liverpool. Liverpool were going through a period, a phase. They needed a new direction. There was a new ownership that understood. Say, Nipa no obeba no. Yene nebe rise. Inti the obeyano will buy into it. Will support him. So Klopp will buy at the early stages. Name fast how.
Yeah.
I remember. And as a be ani omu coke anyway mo chase Liverpool show me Europa League final.
First season the Kwanase more than.
Yeah, so by mid-season no. So it was not all so rosy. But it began to make sense after 3 seasons. No be who's a debut. Machine papa na no. It will likely become a juggernaut and a bet this there be a lot. and their faith in Klopp paid off. Madrid and Subaini are different from the Liverpool here. How Madrid is run are very different, even including their fans. Liverpool orientation are more family than Madrid's. Liverpool, you belong. At Madrid, we are accommodating you because we need to win. If you win, we love you. If you don't win, the same set of fans will turn against you. Liverpool and Tessa, in good times or in bad times, you will never walk alone. They will walk with you. At Madrid, no. So Madrid Kuono, are they willing to understand the times they are in and allowed for a rebuild? Ebanes also there, then they were not fair to Alonso.
Samu.
Yeah.
Say
in every rebuilding phase and our process.
Say be Alonso the end of the Oman to say Oma do that phase.
Oh yeah, sure. They did. And that was why they even brought Alonso on board.
Okay.
So they needed to rebuild.
And I been understand an AC corner no more pennies.
Good. Madrid's patience are tied to winning, not understanding. I was here GBB, I was here Winnie. There is a certain sentimentality attached to how Madrid are approaching Enyoma. And can we no baby no? Transfer direction, the policy of the club, what they want to do. It has affected how Madrid has run. In Tinkomono, a bit Kofa Perez money way. Is it a structure that will help Klopp? A structure that would understand him, and a structure that will allow Klopp to work?
Another big question.
Exactly. Klopp need the onim Nejuma, and on the evidence of what he's done, Mainz 05, Borussia Dortmund, Liverpool at the highest of it all. Their Klopp higher no be him. But Madrid no see a club. Yes, also because they were in and it is not greater than Madrid.
Because Ancelotti moji Champions League ni asake no.
Yeah, Mourinho. Omunyinaje.
Inti ebesida say Madrid ebeti say fine. Your rebuilding process maybe a evolution e koso but you can see microphone there or not trim crowd.
I doubt if that will happen. I doubt if Madrid will rebuild.
Wontumi.
I don't think they will have that patience of going 3 seasons with Klopp without winning.
Wow.
Again, Klopp will ban up a sort of rebuilding year. He would touch players maybe or more the apple and the apple of the eye of some of the top
Florentino Perez.
Actually, the issues, Beba. So, Klopp to Madrid in the dear. And coming Klopp to Liverpool return more feasible, say a bit buano than going to Madrid. So Klopp over Liverpool this year. Me who say no bad Klopp no since all come Madrid. And I can be wrong because of your opinion.
I know,
but me the club nisu clubs me no me the omusu and a year sounds to we say. Liverpool have patience. Share the Anna slot here. Sana slot with Chelsea. And don't call
6 months a crab.
Exactly. So I don't know Miss Roma Klopp no, and you will get assurances need the Obenya from the start. The BBA better to acquaint. Alonso got a lot of assurances, but in reality, it was difficult to implement the decisions because of where the club stood and where he stood. So at times, it is not about what you are capable of doing. It is also the environment you find yourself in. So that is one thing. Lastly, Barcelona there or Moye, you know. They won the game. They lost an opportunity to play in the Copa del Rey final. But they proved something. So this young Barcelona team is still capable on the best of night. You can look at the other dimensions or the other storylines. It was a night that demanded that Barca step up. It is extremely rare team you're down by 4-0. No overturning. It doesn't happen. Anything you say, but they nearly did it. Some will ridicule them. But these are a young core who are not matured and experienced in the game to that level.
To say Messi, Xavi, Iniesta,
yes, that team had matured to a stage. The backbone of that team.
Yes.
Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, and the likes. I think there was Rakitic then. That team had built on some periods of success. Exactly. No, Roberto Mucra, they said but the backbone of that team were teams that had won. Anya Shekano match two different Champions Leagues, 2008, 2009, then 2010, 2011, then Omobaji Bion under Luis Enrique. That was 2014, 2015. So they had won and no money. But this is a very young team that is being led by a teenager. Akoda named Fenin Fifri. I don't remember Messi was leading a Barca comeback at the age of 18. Menkai said Ronaldo leading a Sporting CP or Manchester United comeback. Abraham 4-0 down at the age of 18. Menkai teenager be or inspire comebacks nibi. So to have Barca play to this level, it is to tell you how they are growing and how they are maturing, and they will learn from these experiences. Whether someone qualify or man qualify, the almost game way muno, it toughens them up for the future, and that is a positive thing. But it is also good that Simeone, if this will be his last season, he wins something with Atletico, and maybe a Copa del Rey.
Well, Mike, Mate, me da say, my member Steve when Steve Enfa Nedie and so Embra Steve Yankwe.
Yo, yeah, me da say. For the past 3 games, I fall in love again with Lamine Yamal. Last season, Mekai at some point said, I think earlier part of the season, say for the quality he possesses, I also or get rid of a lot of things for football to enjoy him for a very long time, because football club now won Ankasa our record of players are almost sorry at a very young age. They have the world under their feet, but fail to hit the grandest stage of football. And then new man Lamine Yamal kanini nyina kyerɛ sɛ abrabɔ mu kra saa kafa kakra ba na oyɛ sɛ obɛyɛ yi a ɛbɛte waba, because ade na efrɛ ne sika na yɛ nhwehwɛ animu ade wobɛkɔ bedwam na sɛ gu anim ase. So when he started with this sugar mommy in quote, the trolls are all your, he needed somebody to keep him in check. And games our ball this season, latter part of the season, you see, he said, call it now for the Spanish national side, how he best deserve to be playing top 4. They don't deserve to be part of the top 4 for next season's Champions League. Now, Van Dijk can say be after the game. Something I've been preaching all through the season. On numerous occasions, but it's fair. It is a Shadrach Benya Sain set in Ananka. Ye tear the Van Dijk can. Yeah, okay.
Kasomo is sloping. Yes. Okay, Yintie.
Verge, how do you put that defeat and performance, I guess, into words?
Listen, I think it's down to ourselves. I think we were slow, we were predictable, sloppy in possession, wrong decision making, and obviously we didn't concede chances.
Sloppy decision making. Me coach, but me follow team and me follow me keenly. And I'm sure what is working for the team. The Liverpool team squad in our honor is not built for onslaughts and then sending our coaching, the coaching methods, the way he goes about the business, and the players, profile, no boy bra. Inti also suffocating players, the star no person about football. This gentleman, my candidate, say I wasn't counting marching orders long time ago. Even if he wins the Champions League, they still have to get rid of him. Because players don't do Jurgen Klopp. Players, the style, the idea about how football should be played.
Yes.
So I know Mike can about praising Salah and he feels he has nothing to prove again. It's true. Salah has nothing to prove to anybody again. But I believe Salah is not done yet. He's not done. Look at Modric is saying.
Yeah,
he's still playing. And they Real Madrid for say we are, I want to say, yeah, Messi Cruz, no Modric type of player in the setup. So, what argument then they say, oh, can't you say? The player that you are missing the quality, no, or AC Milan, he's playing very well. Club top players, we in the game, no, I built on getting possession within a specific seconds. We are quick transition.
And he has a slot on why some room was a as one thing means
yes. But you don't wait for such a manager so be wasting the quality that the team possess. We any bad team. Liverpool do not need any addition. Matisse will say rebuilding. No, the team is transitioning from Klopp to slot. And slot in England in your mind, we don't need rebuilding where Alisson can still keep for the next 3 years. Robertson is still good to play for Liverpool. The only area any issues is the Arnold area. There solutions to anti Zobosla, Koshe to a confused manager. So don't worry about Liverpool. They don't deserve to be part of the top 4. For ball or more ball. How many games? In 24 games, how many have they won? And I am pathetic from start of the season. Now I can't watch them. So the guy. But Van Dijk into me can or should the countryman. That guy needs to go. I see we are sloppy. And too predictable.
Implementation among more yes. And just say team be both slowly and as be sloppy there. Then it means yes, the actual some money na more bono.
Yes.
When you say na Liverpool born a ball.
It's in a game no. O man 3-4 years in the game no and surviving in the Premier League. Now Pep Guardiola eka asemi in response to the complaint and all say he enjoys the Eredivisie or share other games that he enjoys those leagues more than the Premier League, you know. Say Shadrach wa obeti me dia to so exactly what Pep Guardiola said. Now some na Guardiola kind deep thinkers of the game where he's pointing to. On Reti and a slot. I say on set pieces dominating the scene in the Premier League, you can complain or you adapt. It's part of the game. It is slot in the over canning to be move change you almost star no more born. Oh you're smarter, you just need to adapt. So many coaches came up against Pep Guardiola. Or more smart now. It's me adapting energy trophies. Until complain here, complain there. The Liverpool team never won. Championship also homogena and marry the era of homo dominance and marry. But the only thing how almost is saying one figure. That is Arne Slot. He does not deserve to be at the dugout anymore. Liverpool are pathetic. Because a player that has proven say consistently for many seasons amount double figures in terms of goals and assists. All of a sudden, you can't convince me. So for 8-9 seasons now, player an ISR. This season, the defining moment at Chelsea was you can't say Salah a bad player, but it has everything to do with the manager. Obibeka said last season he won the league. The factors that came for Liverpool to win the league, and they say a manager that we trusted so much, so we won't let him down. Obi had in the A game number, and they played their hearts out, and they won the league last season. Into who say last season, one who the
town,
yes,
Klopp's town.
Let's give him a fitting farewell.
Oh, yeah, no, ne fadia. I didn't know when you do the same and answer similar style because Isaac no crowd Newcastle almost boss similar.
Yeah.
Ekitike bono bonnet so betting about similar ball.
Yes. Because
Brighton for no Kitano Munya do kwa McAllister Munya.
And then McAllister is ordinary. As a nipa be in corner. Why? Yes, why ordinary? But he's not a bad player. Why ordinary?
Well, see, the Dutch style of football is generally slow. No surprise why it's just Slot who's won the EPL as a Dutch manager because Clifford na de buy. Na say the Obeto club the nana. What did you want?
I was say he needs to go. I'm Liverpool. But me say with Sikane investment or more, you know, I bear down to as you see, won't train with time. The entire Liverpool nya time for club and say buy and he knew the level na Liverpool work currently. It was under Brandon Rodgers. And then they Ababe Drew Baby Edry. So me, I don't watch them. I told you long time ago, I don't waste my time. I don't watch them. And when I'm Barcelona and then I wouldn't watch Liverpool. Not in any scenario because suddenly I play football. I wouldn't want to watch boring football. Your ball no coach, keeper. Nah, that is not football for me. But I'll agree to Madrid, you know. Sefa and Kamepe.
I'll agree.
Yes. Because of what big player experience. Osha 2017 he lost the Champions League final.
Yeah.
But Ocheke ni team or the boy na.
And I'm Mandzukic mwana.
Dani Alves, Bonici, Bazagli, and the rest. Baby at Madrid, they took a gamble and a backfire. You see, on your beer, the emphasis is so much on tactics here for so I invented the anyhow. He adapts to the quality of the players. Now I hear the in-game management. That is what Allegri. So I feel say Madrid is scanning across BBR normal per manager. Allegri, in my view, will be a good fit for Real Madrid currently in a situation of move because Madrid is not for young coaches to prove themselves. It has never been like that, and it will never be like that. To send an Buza Michael say, would there be a period or Mediatum say, and see the moment they accept, see a platform, the will be time in building, they lose their greatness.
See, a rebuilding phase crying come will be results from the also
the moment they do that. Somebody that Jatum say and yet to say Barcelona the
Wontumi.
See. So I can manage and go a perfect power for more job, no? Hansi Flick. But so we because they will never get him at this moment. No, they won't
Madrid.
Get. They won't get.
The right manager, the perfect fit.
Yes. I am a say Hansi Flick was Barcelona this time. Not almost Kasem Enko.
And Newton Canada the last time so move with Steve.
They have the
Flick,
right.
Like the fans in the years original and also because
they have the right manager at the wrong time. So Munya time and normal to Sikako Coutinho home for players in the banner. Nanka he would dominate the European game just as Zidane.
Wow. Well, may I say now say one thing I dislike about Barcelona is when their young players play together for long, they will destroy football. There's a Quran ticket I can have had you couple. I'm saying no Atletico for one I don't know when I say one money Jabasa cry and Quadawi far former.
Where then Zoom Afazi yamo koma kaka ye Ghana league no na fi ye ni koma ne mom the woman say pink cup here cause ye made ye UAE no enra e man about more than said no pano ye ma ho update no omo share 4 first game omo Hong Kong omo 4 and the Russia omo share 4 nti goals ne ba na eba na ni nyina mu no ana coach Kasas enra and modern more boys maba and modern more na ni so any omo next game omo African country and ebe ball na next game no against Tanzania game ano ebe den no and ori atu says that game is very very tricky because omo African football no pa nti say o hia omo a banisa bema game na den compared to Zambia or boy European team the NT came last kakra de tuja.
And we did it today. Yeah, I mean that's probably is going to be the most tricky one because we play against another African country that absolutely want to beat us. They will be the underdogs. We know that they have a young talent group of players that they're going to run a lot, they're going to tackle a lot. So if we are not there, they for sure is going to win the game. So we need to be happy tonight and then back to training tomorrow and then show up in the last game against Tanzania.
Come free or the next game against Tanzania and on 7 now Hong Kong for the report about say more actual more free tournament team and no a news free or the Black Queens the yesu jinama ye baji sika nyina na eja ye de abakro na bibia e kama ye remo Ghanaian league no referees no ensen 7 and now we the letter by china now we throw e de aba na young apostles akasa na obu team no omu so more problem officiating pa na ni nyina mo no PRO e de nkoma kakra Alaji Salah Mahama Achiremu referees no more demo because you started league no omako vero centers ahwe said the new Mexico bi mo kwa yesisi womuni and wakani nyina bom referee in Ghana said yesisi situation no esitie no Alaji ede kakra amaye young apostles the omo fam or Ghana referees them intie no.
I believe it's football all over the world. Yeah, the rules and regulations and Asia kind on match days or more a year very instrumental before a match. A bit me officials they can demand in a center. If I say center referee, these are people they are supposed to be fair to both teams on the field. So go back say or more a modern ball. And yet very fair. And the beauty of the game becomes smart. Apostles, just like any team in the Premier League, I believe say match in, match out. A soon teams a soon officiating one and yes kitwa.
Yeni horia to Ghana omoko breakum Chelsea game no last weekend ono so cheche mu se nneoma bi kosi ho no ma omani anye ho kra na referee no incident bi o ho isi ya senka omoje edema we no age dia ma we che decisions no time pa omo game o breakum kakra eno so ka erefa yintie no.
In the game against Chelsea in Brekum, we felt undone by the referees. Now if we say referees modern ball on Sunday in Brekum, playing idea and no match that echo ye. But then you say match referees are very key. Say as human beings, on Bayern from so. And for Sonny Bar, you say how grave was the mistake? Say mistakes not about wrong foul calls in the midfield. Now Komago Bia and anti team Bia, you can gloss over it. But if a referee's mistake, to me as the destiny of a football match against a club, Star club no can't gloss over it. Only tonight, and Yaha ya no.
Wado ayen Samalaji eritu and Alaji echem say omode said the referees ne ye anuama Ghana league no no omani nye ho ne mom omo hwe kwan a ye befa so a ye be prevent some mistakes a referees eye in game yenti no so how to prevent some mistakes a referees no in the game.
And Asia kind and I believe say football all over the world. Yeah, the rules and regulations and Asia kind and on match days or more a year very instrumental before a match. A bit me officials they can demand in a center. If I say center referee, these are people they are supposed to be fair to both teams on the field. So go back say or more a modern ball and yet very fair. And the beauty of the game becomes smart. Apostles, just like any team in the Premier League, I believe say match in, match out. A soon teams a soon officiating one and yes kitwa.
Wano enkoma yene alaji edi ya yere wonsem na reba na say young apostles and you course weekend ya Ghanaian league nim concerning officiating and omo de ede aba no na aduana nso enya bi womo game against Dreams FC 2 bar straight have no so na ye bo womo enipa ba ko na namponsa mo bo ni minimum e VIP session ema some no e ba ye na nenam from memo a no mo say eno ade 3 days every form fa bibia mai say nka omo hu bibia e kwaso na eja omo troll tebi di aba bontin say ade na omo hu no womo condemn every no fa bibia mai in general no omo lete enam wiemu a womo de omo kire supporters union no mo say omo ka kire feni say nuoma esi ye ene yellow red card da referee di ma womo play ane ya bo womo so empani ba ko ni nyina na nyade ya empani fu akasa ere afa ho na ye di nkomo kakra e wo ho ama ono nso akasa Mr. Kwadwo Ajay wono ana aduana supporters union ono na chairman ono ana eche nemo ocheche nuoma di si ye pote ewo Dreams FC game no wacheche mo ye bere ketie no na afia to ankoba no so
Nikuturu homo yere sibati yere mfanka ya sami namuna happy match man kasa no me hu sa so na yo kwe ko si yete se referee no na mo be yin na se Obama bi na lusu ye konti ko kasa o migi a match man na se lejima na ka chere se ni match no ya match bi bi no dia hun town no bi ya game first 15 minutes am my record we mo a ade ne ni ya first one ko wanje amano ka dia ye clear ko san ko second one ka no ko ye futu ke che o mama isa because of selling the one Germany mun jai o mama straight record onya boli bi o yo ko ma me ne ko na ye bana ye bi jira pa so be bano be duru na papa no chile e ile fi ama na record
Yara osemi pa o papa no mama o my banner da babe support o mu ba ya o mu be enete bench ya na ya show no red card nyina no ere se ha dwie pa na nkomodo koso no o chechire mu ema o kanse bi kra se wo mu game against Samates referees wo mu do mu ko die no sa referees na no mo sa di ese wo mu dwe ho ase nuoma bi koso league no mu a wo mu dwe wo mo ntiase no so chechire mu die ntia sa nuoma ni si ne nuoma e koso mu ho ya no mo giri se airtime pa yentie kakra eno so re tuja
na yako Samates ni ne si Samates no esu sure na yere ba do ma Samates ba do ma yo ise the officials ba follow the same squad ni na sabado tini mu bi yenti ase anu kan puchi aka se atade ne ko so weli mi da se kare ka kin ska kamram do se chawo de mo bolo so no ko so ha do ma no the same thing ne ma poto the same thing ne ko so ha ni na ya ka re na e ko me diema no musisa mapaka ni se kan fi wo se ni dia o se de ni jimi because even say uni e kwa da kunuma to se kwa ni se ura so amapaka fa pese no ne desin o ka se eni se ba ho wa so na so ko ba ye tie mo be
wano nkomore tu jam se oti se na obo ira musisa mapaka edin ewo nkomonum na wase wo kasemi trom se nzo na eto se next day ye babo game na mo ye den ye be hye mo nsemi wo ho a musisa mapaka ka chioma emu dwire wo mo pa ye babo game the next day no sansem ni si yenti kakre no so o kafa ho
ye bobo na nsuru to ye ja boro amapaka ni tiero nka se o wusa to ye yuta o pa de be penalty ye be sama mo record ni fa mun ja boro ye be shemo chara ampanyi na mpa video ni na wa bontan pisa wo ye so fa ko o mo na amapaka ne no ko se ne ko o mo ai na ho intimidation ko so ho na ampanyi ni na mpa record na happen ye very so happen ni le ye sisi se sisi tan sa di ye ya
esisi tantan ha dwe na yede eba wie onkomo ene ne twetwe na wo se everyone no omo nka bibia amfa ho de omo de omo so be form ho adwe you do me I do you me ba ho na wo ye me a wo ba na me so the same thing kwa de me fa so na me so ja me do afa so yentie no so
na yako Samates ni si Samates no esu sure so ha competition auto na yere ba do ma Samates ba do ma yo the same the officials ba follow the same squad ni na sabado tini mu bi yenti ase anu kan puchi aka se atade ne ko so weli mi da se kare ka kin ska kamram do se chawo de mo bolo so no ko so ha do ma no the same thing ne ma poto the same thing ne ko so ha ni na ya ka re na e ko e diema the game Mrs. Amapaka, you say, Ghana football say any day.
Nkoma otimi say ye na Kenya de ono eche say you do me I do you em say the league no say we for no officiating be koso na say nneoma bi koso na mon kasa de a ene yeso obi eye me bi na me kɔ no ho na so di me a obama wa me nso de be di no nkoma a na nke pe e de ama ne mom ye ri si no kotoko ene omo ebo friendly game e wa da ko judge o many pro players academy and a boy kwampoku ana ujinam bo 2 goals really need ye or tenene nemo pa kaze obebo e matches omo ebebom na nuama I come and see that preparation game eno e course so fancy yam fancy na abeda 4 and to us so
well Mike Bray
fancy me that say and come up here so about officiating the end there I want to gather enough so I can speak to it near who the but and come up here so about Andre Ayew and the likely return to the Black Stars Yebeko World Cup. No? I think the Emma issue is also gather a momentum this week here. The comments from the sports minister when he said he will not be surprised to see that Andre entered into 2 different perspectives or contests. And Yamawa see because he's active, he's playing, he's not retired. And Andre experience, no, definitely. If you are banking your hopes on experience in Kwadia, you can definitely fall on him. And now say the other side here, because of how influential Obit is Andre Ayew, you know, and let's not underestimate this. Andre Ayew is very, very influential. One, the family that he comes from, ne papa ne wan be dipeli, and then 2, on one kasa baby abobo ne drino. Andre Ayew is a player. Omo oni ni ane yeso omo tietu, omo mbo blasters ni bio. It took a presidential intervention to get them to return to playing for the senior national football team. So it should tell you their level of influence if they want certain things to be done. Nti ebisu really means and the minister ne kai no. Ebia behind the scenes in Komobia Koso. And then some powerful people might influence the process to get Andre Ayew to be part of the Black Star squad. But another more questions be a metro go me phone so na me pesi e dia no di nkomo kakra. Sandra Ayew Beko World Cup now. You miss your first question. Is he playing? Is he available? Yes, he's playing. Yes, he's available. And maybe a Premier World Cup qualifiers. No, he was not active. He was barely training with Omo Shadambo born in Drosro here in Ghana. Exactly. So he couldn't be considered. But now he's active. He can't be considered. So it answers the first question. Second one here, how is his level of performance and then impacted will be war. He started the last 3 games for NAC Breda and he's ended it. Performance to say I think Obana Homo in the Obeyabia per the ratings. The highest rating I when you are NAC Breda per the various sites a rate the player performance is 7.3. And you're bad. But again, is it something that will transform the Black Stars as it stands now? The influence. What has been his contribution? Ne role you're doing. Andre is an attacker or an offensive midfielder. So it means he measure the impact, he measure the performance. He will be judged by the involvement in attacking actions for his side. And the last time Andre Ayew nya a goal contribution, say or share, and now or assist. Fancy was exactly a year ago, near March 2025. Exactly. So in terms of impact, in terms of influence, from the position of Bonnie the he has not done much. He hasn't. Sendek was goes by 5, 10, 15 beer. Then we can speak to how impactful he has been. So yes, he's back playing. But definitely he's a player who has lost out on a spark. The name Andre Ayew, no. His involvement in goals, nye passing, and nye ball tackling, and nye winning, and nye goals influence I know nye on the team. Marseille, Ale Avignon, Swansea. You can go on and mention all the clubs he's played for. So if he has gone a year without giving any goal contribution, then I think that it is worth probing to assess and know say impact ben when you want a club career more obetimi a transfer sa impact na dia be national team nim. And then again, senior TA
to me
and assistants now our Black Stars nim no, which attacker and Andre Ayew ye better than in the season under review? None. So his level of impact and his performances does not merit him getting into the team. That answers that question, but I'll be back to this same question. The role he has to play, Robin Obe play of last year's name. Yeah, the Andre Ayew will call World Cup now. Dian Obeye. I've heard people raise arguments about Roger Miller and the run he embarked on with Cameroon 1990 and then to a larger extent 1994. Yes. But what will be Andre's role if he's added to the Black Star setup for the World Cup 2026? ABC experience. Then again, football is very interesting that you can argue for both the left and then the right and still make sense. Obetimi argue for why we need Andre Ayew's experience. Obetimi argue against why we don't really need his experience, because Yeko 2022 World Cup, no, we had Andre Ayew with a team name. Yep, but he wasn't our best player. And when his experience was counted on, he disappointed us. In that last game against Uruguay, he was our most experienced player and he had the most important decision to make. Experience had taught him something in 2010. Penalty saying against Uruguay, it dented our chances. He didn't qualify and make a historic semi-final appearance. Now, that experience of 2010, Andre could have translated it into 2022, you know, and turned the outcome to be positive. And fact, our best player at that World Cup was a player who had not even played at the tournament before, no need tournament experience, Mohamed Kudus. So the argument of experience, it is not always the case. Experience becomes valuable when the player can contribute in terms of performance. Miroslav Klose and Germany, his experience was counted on. Although Mario goes among the lead the attack 2014, but when it mattered most, Ghana versus Germany 2-2 no, and Klose came on to effect or impact the game. Experience, but he was still performing. He had been let go by Bayern. Lazio no bono sheni goals. Meka Shaka Diana made the home common. In that remarkable run they had in 2010-2011, Raul was there guiding them. He had been released by Madrid, but the experience helped. But it wasn't just the experience. Last season, no, Raul was Madrid's overall top scorer, 19 goals. His performance. So experience without performance, experience without impact, it does not work. That is the difference. Enyejuma. So yes, Andre has experience, but how valuable has his experience been to Ghana's cause in the previous tournament Ayako in the last 5-6 years? Amanfo bebre wo GDA say AFCON ye call last time ye sebe ye call Jegu ye huin. Andre can who be na nyoman ko ya maye. And a debut of Bembiana ye hear the experience to control the game. Ebu okro bebem ni will lead. But obemwa a matter necessary, then we surrender the lead. So his experience alone ain't enough. Performance wise, he is not performing better than the options available. The only time we consider players like Andre Ayew Niomu age, you know, a specialty. Maradona, 94 World Cup. Argentina Econo. Now Maradona more competitively to a certain level and the fitness no was true. But Maradona is an outlier. Or you're 1 in a million or Sesanioma. So what the Maradona qua, he can weave magic at any instance. Andre Ayew will not star players nibi. He is a player who thrived on energy, momentum. Andre Diano or Akoma, Andre Diano or character, or Sanyo mem or Bemuahina Emuayashi. And then no conformity trying to sign crowd, come the article into me pusu. So Andre was not your typical Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo type. That time now no energy no to me bo peja. And they said Thomas Müller. The last days were German. Who was a soon pe. But honam na emre. So soon ne pe for Andre Ayew. But honam na emre to the extent that he can't give us. They're not Andre Ayew de Maye some time ago. And this conversation, if he goes to the World Cup,
to me,
it will be for non-football reasons more than for football reasons.
Mike, may I say, Mr. Bray, and Steve Bray, bra.
I think, sir, we as citizens, Obia have the right to what he feels is right in terms of the Blasters and who he feels or joining trainer Beboy. But I think we've gotten to the stage that we need to respect who are the technical team or who is the head coach. Andre Ayew joined Le Havre in the French Ligue 1, and there will be a monitor in the games. Now he was doing very well. Now before that time, if I'm to pick any player that I will entrust, and as a list of Ghanaian players I will entrust the Blasters in difficult moments, I think me Sulemuntari, Asamoah, me the Andre Ayew so back because of the functionality and what they bring to the party. But in moments there, you will say, I feel that say the ye koye say emfa Andre Ayew embra, you better tarnish a legacy. We have a duty to respect him for what he has been able to do for the national team. The time from 2008 till time I won the last tournament, and also the last tournaments are all more of a bench player. Or call France, he played very well or impactful. Emalia and Umpo Otoado and Freno. That should tell you, sir, the conversation of Andre's return to the Blasters in the scheme of things of Otoado, it doesn't exist. Until let's save and honor our legend. Menya sure so no also bet trumpet the debut at the World Cup. Onya okwa but in print okoni one thing. Imparting at the World Cup and also is another thing. So let's save that conversation and save the legacy of Andre Ayew. He has done a lot for the national team. Menya sure say somebody can say no every more day no a best sit well with the national team. Let's respect him. The issue of officiating, I had this is the second time young apostles can be. Now game no cry. I think and the 170 minutes. Many report whether there was lengthy delays our game. No say will be prior. No here the ambulance service or Baba Park. No Abe Boantina. A call that time for a game that they led 1-0 and Sana eventually Omobeti. They are in dire need of goals and points to survive. And this is the second time or more. I know most of the clubs are also complaining about officiating. Inquire against one opponent. They lost at home against Kotoko. What is more complaining a referee is here. Until GFA made them support you. Never be brave now or the abana. I think a bit innovative. But into me overlooking the importance of officiating. Because investing in a Ghana football, yeah, and that form. It is a be banner or pepasa or beboa the league. I employ in Krofwa or Monsako Manua. The FA has a duty to protect such people. Not to say so Munko di Momo. But I hear say Pepe on the field of play, no.
For the referees matter, you have your huge conversations around
it. To me,
it is something that is deeply rooted, which I believe supporters share proper sentiment when it comes to the decision that will be taken by the centermen or even the linesmen. But me involving myself in, especially when this is not to tag a specific fan base for more attitude, but I think in general, yes, we share crowd supporters and the way we react to certain things or decisions our referees taking in games. Yeah, because I have seen games that referees go wrong, and what supporters literally can do near say, "I'm better to turn your mother park so." no more tunsu, maybe 2 way, maybe 2 way, maybe 2 way. You've seen videos upon videos upon videos upon videos. So it's a whole lot of education that needs to go on. I was here church bia said in the dramatia. They said you bet mama who can see no what. Again, you back for. I believe you are playing in a league that if you want to make it better, every single stakeholder should be involved, including even journalists. And the kind of attention any sembi a kafa league, you know. It is sako sebi achichide nantie nansa yedai aba. Problems need to change BDA, but the general consensus of the whole discussion is we need to make our league better, and every single person that is involved should help us make it better. Complaints need also do. We are 10 games to the end of the league. 10 games. First one yabone kama. Second one yabobi kama. 10 games.
Equal later stages no.
10 games. Referees mon peja mon money boom. Madaroma. Efe mushim referees nim peja money bonim. Mon pedem. Mo ya dapa for do getting to the end of every single season. Supporters so mo mama wonte na monum kasante.
Want to me?
Mama num kasante. Namusu bante. Team administrators and owners. Mama duma wonte. 10 games to the end of the season. We are begging you. Ya pamo chow. Obia finance sum bina league ni we asum mu. Then I think when it is done, proper review and checks needs to go on for us to amend. Say rules they be amend I amend the rules. Say nyoma bi ne be ya yenya na ma league no honte. Na ko asum dream. Now on the bit of Black Stars collab experience, Dede, I share the same sentiment with whatever Michael is saying about the addition to the national team. Yow, Sebi, I always say this thing. This is to me, say, you always leave when the applause are high. Enye bibi ma enye Sebi sekotire janai na bibi ketu ebi tatuo. Me obi a me sonson me ho me dwen me ho. In the bigger picture of what you are asking questions about, what the day Ayew is going to give us at the World Cup, I think Michael has explained it all. Say, Obey, are you better than those who are there? Dear Nawode, are you bringing us goals or you are bringing us assists? Or you are chasing your individual record? And our club side, you are getting consistent results. Positioner, Obi deserving, yes, and farm. All of these things are legitimate questions. This is not to underrate the impact of the day Ayew, the performance in the Black Stars. Yow, and someone in Koma Yedin in Anchre say, the day you knew my dear or Black Stars in the Sebi, Obi Bunanimtia. Ana and so Ghana for any, and so any Obiaso Munanimtia. Nemo baby, no cry down another no cry a day. Ato. There's one question I want to ask Ghanaians. They say, the day you performance or than they do or knock, your national team no. The big question I'm asking here say, the day you difference by pan or by Black Star Musisia or by the Abuama national team no yakwa enim.
The memo when you be a renny say be an there. Obi share knock for no.
Ya no knock no obisu we bia or Germany. Obi or France.
Saying that picking or
Obi or Netherlands. They are even playing in maybe more competitive leagues. Top competitive leagues. Let's not drag the argument to be centered around him alone. That is in a nutshell even a disrespect to him. Nemom, yeah, draw the larger picture. Busa questions are he's in line to be among or more competing for certain positions, but doesn't mean say by hook or crook. And the minister statement no yaw. Ebe come out for team na minister see emfa de da you go. Minister anka see emfa de da you go. Na emu sese ne money so ani a. Ye betimi deny ye dey. Akati. And na ne money yeso ye tia no as journalist. Ye dissect chiro wo say. Ne money question out if you abusa won ye say Black Stars team e wo sisi a no. The da you bebo position be hwan na obeyi no. say Black Stars number 10 ye wine. Kudus to me bobi mani yana meboa. Ana. Is it you kudus free one ma? Why never number 10 ni bi? And I say I'm call with 4-2-3-1 na and I call 4-3-3. See I call 4-3-3 right wing, left wing, center forward, one ebe show. Yeah, there are a lot of questions we need to ask and answer by ourselves. If you are supposed, because also on the boy, near sweet me buano. None of you know baby or Black Stars team anymore. If you won't them yaw. I've seen how ye jay legends quite ben na Samoa Jan fast to free Black Stars in him. Quite ben na Stephen Appiah fast to free Black Stars in him. Quite ben na like Kensi fast to jay Black Stars. Quite ben under the likes of AC and Usulali Muntari Munina Faso, a jay Black Stars no. You come back to Reverend Osei Kufimo timer. They be omudi yaw. Say omuni in Kofuku omobeji the African Cup of Nations the Ghana national team no. Quite ben ye fast where DJ omo. All of these things are very important to understand. Say in our legends in this particular era, we need to treat them well. But treating them well, let us not put the team below Omo. Yemfa team into first before we consider them at some point and give them a proper respect. Say be I was here deneko and I say was here maneka. Bibia emre ne beche yaw. Me no kase kura sa wa AFCON 2027. Bwana meboa. Next year ya Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, African Cup of Nations. And I'm so yeah, they are subsequent ones if he has not retired and he deems fit to fit in any of the competitions going forward. Yeah, but let's not make the discussion all about. I said that you and Kobe, I said and I said that you cut him no team negu. At the same time, so who he has was here the no so they never call. I'm a team let me.
There is one country be as over.
Oh yeah, but you see, we need to shape narratives.
Yeah.
We as journalists, our job is to shape narratives. That is why I love the questions that Michael Bisa, because the minister came out to make a statement. What you say? Minister no, I make a statement. The other opportunity because yesterday I heard someone telling me say, "Hey, you see, I'm funny that you go walk up." Obi fair as Matisse, you see the day you the never go walk up. Now you listen to such arguments, and you as a journalist, you need to educate. If you can in your mom, you say. The day you questions are you say baby original say is it better than a more? You don't need to talk more about boy. Some questions we need to ask. Oh boy, fine. There's no problem in adding him. Oh boy, let us not put him ahead of the team. That is all.
You be my coach and wanna be in selection.
Titia.
As a coach who say be our ball. The next man say dear what I saw boy.
Yeah, friendly games going.
And the coach well my Simeone Simone's vital help our mixture again to say na dog onwe dey
Yankopa do
okay na mu just so chrewa adwen wo ho but the enye ina agana ne dey obia e coach o ti Simone's vital help our mixture again is it obabia and I will say okoto Miss Chana, water capsules. Now for the